Please come, everybody. नीचे से फ्लावर दिए जाएंगे और ऊपर से जो है छूट जरूरत नहीं है, मतलब प्लीज तो सागर यूनिवर्सिटी तो पहले वाली साइड डालना।
अच्छा तो पहले में फेलिसिटेशन
है और अवार्ड के नहीं अवार्ड नहीं तो उसमें क्लास बनानी सुना तीन के लिए पहले वाले के लिए नहीं नहीं तीन के लिए बनाना है पहले वाले के लिए नहीं बाकी तीन के लिए बनाना है हाँ ना इसमें एमरजेंसी लेवल और ये दो रखना है ये दो
अच्छा तो पहले तो फेलिसिटेट करेंगे वहीं पर ही
देखो सबको फ्लावर दिला रहा हूँ फिर मोमेंटो और शॉर्ट आ गया नहीं हम सब देना है नहीं देना है शॉर्ट मोमेंटो भी देना है
सर शॉर्ट और कमेंट को ये दोनों पास कर देंगे
हां ये लोग पास कर देंगे
हैंडओवर करते हैं
लेडीज शोल्डर जेंट्स शोल्डर।
We are about to begin with the conference, and I request the audience to be seated, especially the ones who are outside and near the refreshment area. We are going to begin our journey shortly. May I request all the august members of the audience to please join us in the conference hall, specifically the ones who are still lingering outside. The weather has clearly betrayed us, but so doggedly determined we are that despite the dark-bellied clouds we have assembled here, and that too on a note of brightness and spiritedness. To say that we are thrilled is an understatement, and at the behest of IG and Ambedkar University, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to extend you a cheerful welcome. We've got dignitaries, presenters, organizational members who adorn the 6th International Conference of Asian Libraries 2019. I'm truly awed by the collected expertise here. So before we embark on this 3-day intellectual journey, I request you all to either switch off your mobile phones or put them on the silent mode for an uninterrupted deliberation. I now solicit the gracious presence of the dignitaries, Mr. H.E. Shen, Ambassador, Republic of Korea Assembly, Ms. Lavy Bazaine, former President of SLA, Asian Chapter, Korea, Dr. Debal Sekar, Librarian, Ambedkar University, Professor Manoj Panda, Director, Institute of Economic Growth, Mr. Moo Suk Oh, President, Korea Special Libraries Association, Ms. Emma Davidson, and Dr. P.K. Jain, Librarian, IEG Delhi. Please join me, audience, in the rapturous applause as the dignitaries mount the dais. Thank you, dignitaries, for your gracious presence at this momentous occasion. I'm going to disturb them further by requesting them to proceed for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. And now I request Dr. Alka Suri, Director, DesiDoc, and Dr. Aslam Alam, Rector to the Government of Bangladesh, to please join the dignitaries in lighting of the lamp. This ceremony is highly symbolic and suggests the dispelling of darkness of ignorance by the light of knowledge. And that's precisely what this conglomeration also signifies. Shubham Karoti Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada, Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya, Deepa Jyotir Namastute. I salute the one who's the lamplight that brings auspiciousness, prosperity, good health, abundance of wealth, and the destruction of the intellect's enemy. Please give them a roaring applause. What an auspicious way to begin the conglomeration with. Madam Alkasuri, please lighten the lamp. Thank you all for beginning on such a ceremonial gesture. May I now request your presence back on the dais? We now begin with a series of felicitations. I request Ms. Geeta Paliwal, librarian at CEC, UGC, to honor Mr. H. E. Shin, Ambassador, by offering him a bouquet as an expression of our reverence and deep-seated affection. Please double up audience. I request Professor Manoj Panda to felicitate him further with mementos to express our humble gratitude. Ms. Neelam Thapa, Assistant Professor at Sagar University, to offer bouquet and honor Ms. Lavy Bazaine for her unfailing presence here at the conference. I request Dr. Debal Sikar to honor her further with memento as a token of our gratitude. Please give them a thunderous applause. Madam Vinod Kumari Sharma, Associate Director at Desidog, Delhi, may I please request you to honor Mr. Boon Suk O, President, Korea Special Libraries. The least we can do, audience, is to give them a thunderous applause. Thank you. Thank you. I beseech Dr. P.K. Jain to felicitate him further with mementos and shawl. Let's make this conference hall reverberate with our applause. Thank you. Madam Alka Rai, Deputy Librarian, Ambedkar University, Delhi, to honor Ms. Emma Davidson for her august presence with us. I implore Mr. H. E. Shin to honor her further by offering her memento and shawl. Please laud her. I request Madam Anita Gangrade, Senior Librarian, IILM, Jaipur, to recognize Professor Manoj Panda's presence and offer him a bouquet. I now fervently appeal to Ms. Lavy Bazaine for honoring Professor Manoj Panda for his role in this conference. I now request Madam Anita Jain, GECRC Jaipur, to honor Dr. Praveen Kumar Jain for his indispensable role and efforts in this conference. I now request our dignitary Musuk O to laud Dr. P.K. Jain for his role, for his commendable role, not to miss on that. I request Madam Mini Vajpayee, Deputy Librarian, SMS Medical College, for felicitating Dr. Debal Sikar for his unflinching commitment to the discipline of library and information sciences. I now call Madam Emma Davidson for honoring him further with memento and shawl. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, dignitaries, for such a graceful and dainty ceremonial felicitations. I extend a warm welcome to all the dignitaries on days, and we now commence with the first session. I bid Dr. Debal Sikar for the welcome address. Dr. Debal Sikar, librarian, Ambedkar University, Delhi, has more than 3 decades of experience in the field of library and information sciences. He's won many laurels to his credit. He was recipient of Endeavour Executive Fellowship 2014 from Government of Australia, and also worked as visiting fellow at University of Technology, Sydney, Australia. He was also the recipient of scholarship by Belgium government and worked as visiting associated faculty of Pharmacy, Vrije University, Brussels. He has many publications to his credit and has presided over many conferences as chair and also been awarded as a recognition of his achievement. He was the founder editor of World Digital Libraries and served as president of SLA Asian chapter. So without any further ado, I invite Dr. Debal for the welcome address.
Thank you. Good morning. Respected Professor Manoj Panda, Director IEG Delhi, Ms. Emma Davidson, Chapter Cabinet Chair SLA USA, His Excellency Singh, Mr. Singh, Bangkhil, Ambassador Republic of Korea, Mr. Mo Suk O, President KSLA and President of SLA Asian Chapter, Ms. Lavy Jain, President APPTIS Indonesia and past President of SLA Asian Chapter, Dr. P.K. Jain, Librarian IEG, speakers, sponsors, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. On behalf of the Ambedkar University, Delhi, Institute of Economic Growth, Society for Library Professional, and Asian Chapter of the Special Libraries Association, I extend a warm welcome to the galaxy of library and information professionals, speakers, participants, and guests. I stand before this august gathering with a great sense of satisfaction and delight. It is very gratifying to see that the 6th International Conference of Asian Special Libraries 2019 on libraries and librarianship in digital plus era, organized by SL Asian Chapter, Ambedkar University, Delhi, Institute of Economic Growth, has taken place in Delhi and generated such a great enthusiasm among the library professionals around the world. It is to note that first ICoASL, also organized in New Delhi in 2008 by the SLA Society for Library Professionals. We are very happy that Professor Manoj Panda, Director IEG, agreed to be with us and to address this August international gathering and permitting us to organize this conference in this beautiful place. Professor Panda has always been supportive, motivative, and encourage and facilitate us. Welcome you, sir. We are indeed very fortunate to have with us His Excellency Shin Bongkil, Ambassador, Republic of Korea. I thank him to found time to be with us in this morning. Welcome, sir. We are also most appreciative and of the presence of Ms. Emma Davidson, Chapter Cabinet, SLA Asian Chapter. I also thank Mr. Musuk O, President KSLA, President SLA Asian Chapter, Ms. Lavy Bazaine, APTTIS, and past President of SLA Asian Chapter to associate with us in this conference and present here. I welcome all of them on behalf of SLA Asian Chapter. I welcome all the participants, speakers warmly. I'm sure the delegates and speakers would enjoy 3 days of their stay in this city of Delhi and will return with lots of thoughts, ideas, intellect, satisfaction, and joy. Special Libraries Association is USA-based non-profit global organization for informative information and professionals and their strategic partners in business, government, academic, and other specialized settings. SLA promotes and strengthens its members through learning, networking, and community building initiatives, information about the benefits of SLA membership, including reduced registration fees to attend SLA annual conference every year in USA. Asian chapter is one of the many chapters of the SLA organizes this ICoASL. International Conference of Asian Special Libraries, acronym is ICoASL, series has traveled a long journey, nearly 11 years, with its launch in New Delhi, November 2008. Since then, Asian journey of ICoASL began with the second ICoASL organized in February 2011 in Tokyo, Japan, third in April 2013, Manila, Philippines, fourth in April 2015 in Seoul, Korea, South Korea, in fifth in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. I am extremely happy and delighted today to welcome the 6th ICoASL participants. The main objectives of this international event is to bring together library and information professionals from the world, especially from the Asian countries, to a common platform and to facilitate the exchange of ideas and expertise to bring the knowledge gap on professionalism, leadership, and ethics of the library services. It is gratifying to note that the agenda of this conference covers wide range of contemporary areas such as information retrieval, digital archives, e-governance, web-based services, digital libraries, role of library association and libraries, social media applications, user studies and user education, library outreach, marketing, advocacy, skill competency, rethinking roles and skill of librarians, open access, open educational resources, and LIS education. We will have opportunity to listen to experts from around the globe. I am confident that discussions during the conference will lead us to the end of 2 important technical conclusions on the subject of what would be the best content strategy to enhance a competitiveness in libraries in the digital era. How can increase the value of library services and how can we secure competencies beyond profession? On this occasion, like one is tempted to look back the past for the moment. The glory of Asian chapter of SLA started with its establishment in 1999. During its 20 years of existence, it has organized numerous events to engage the Asian professionals together. It included international conference, seminars, events, webinars, continual learning programs in India, Japan, Pakistan, Philippines, Korea, Indonesia. These programs have developed the managerial capacity and librarians in Asia. Till now, Asian chapter have been worked under the leadership of 15 presidents from Asia. These include 7 from India, 2 from Japan, 1 each from Hong Kong, Nepal, Pakistan, Philippines, Korea, Singapore, and Indonesia during these past years. This shows the diversity of leadership in the Asian chapter. The members of Asian chapter have been awarded with the prestigious award like Diversity Leadership Program, SLA Rising Star Award, Professional Award, Presidential Citation Award, Member Achievement Award, SLA Fellow, Hall of Fame, and many more. Library leaders in Asia have received awards and recognition from many other divisions also, like Science and Technology divisions, Business Finance division, PAM division. These awards have not only given recognition to the profession in Asia, but also the opportunity to attend annual conference in USA and meet professionals from around the world. Since 2008, we have been sending delegates from Asia to the SLS annual conference in USA. We are proud to say that we have established 3 awards to recognize the potential of LIS professionals and support them to travel from Asia to SLS conference USA every year. We have also established two awards jointly with the Science and Technology divisions and Business and Finance division of SLA for each of the library information professionals from Asia countries, and provides opportunity to attend SLA annual conference USA. Asian chapter continuously organizing various national, international events in Asia to develop networking and leadership among the librarians. In June every year, we will be having SLA annual conference and Info Expo, and I am feeling happy to announce that, like last year's, Asian chapter will organizing a variety of events at SLA 2019 in Cleveland, Ohio, USA. On this occasion, I would like to express our deep appreciation and gratitude to our organizers, IEG, Ambedkar University, Society for Library Professionals, not only for agreeing to host this conference, but also for giving us full support for establishing this organization committee. We have a heavy agenda before us for these next 3 days. Let us ourselves to take ahead of all us, full of hope, confidence, and determination. Hope and confidence in ability to all of us to fulfill the great mutual responsibilities we have assumed. The determination to live up to the expectation of those whom we represent to uphold, implement the principles and objectives of the convention. I announce that next ICoASL 2001 will be in Korea. I invite all of you to present there. I also open the forum for submitting to bid the organization for 7th ICoASL in 2023. Please submit your request to us. To welcome members of various committees and sincerely acknowledge the help, guidance given by the members of various committees, including this conference and colleagues of IEA and AUD. This conference is organized in collaboration with the IEG, Ambedkar University, Delhi, Society for Library Professionals, Asian chapter of SLA, IFLA, Korea Special Library Association, IPPTIS Indonesia, and DLA. We also receive support and collaboration from the ICSSR, DSIR, Government of India, Raja Rammohn Rai Library Foundation, Ministry of Culture, and different publishers' houses like OECD, Brill, Emerald, Cengage, Sage, and others. Our special gratitude to all of them. I convey my heartiest thanks to our team at IEG and AUD. Without their active and enthusiastic support, this conference would have not been possible. Lastly, my last wishes to the participants to this conference. Hope that this conference turns out to be the great success. I welcome all of you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Debel, for welcoming the August gathering and for spelling out the focus and objectives of this conference so clearly. I now solicit the presence of Professor Manoj Panda, Director, Institute of Economic Growth. Professor Manoj Panda holds a PhD in economics from the Indian Statistical Institute. He is currently the director here and earlier served as director at the Center for Economic and Social Studies, CESS, Hyderabad. He's worked at the Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research, Mumbai, and National Council of Applied Economic Research, New Delhi. His research areas span a broad spectrum, and he's extensively published in journals and also edited various scholarly books. I may not be deemed fit for chronicling his accomplishments, so I beseech Professor Panda for addressing the bright minds here.
His Excellency Sin Bongkil, Ambassador of the Republic of Korea, Miss Emma Davidson, Chapter Cabinet Chair, Special Library Association, Mr. Su Ku Ho, President Asian Chapter of SLA, Miss Lavy Bazaine from Indonesia, who has always been enthusiastically participates in all Indian conferences, Dr. Devalkar, Dr. Join, distinguished participants, and ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on behalf of the Institute of Economic Growth, I would like to welcome you all to this historic city of Delhi, and in particular to the Institute of Economic Growth. It is indeed a happy occasion that the International Conference of Asian Special Libraries is being organized today at this institute, and tomorrow it will be at the Ambedkar University. With participants from different parts of the world, such as Korea, USA, Japan, France, Germany, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, Qatar, and so on, and from different states in India. This conference indeed provides a good platform for discussions and exchange of ideas on the chosen theme, libraries and librarians in the digital plus era. I may take just a minute to introduce you, for those who don't know about IEG. This is, the Institute of Economic Growth. It is an autonomous multidisciplinary center of advanced research and training. It is one of India's leading academic institutions in the field of economic and social development. We have faculties in economics, demography, and sociology, and a large body of supporting research staff who work on cutting-edge research areas in economic and social development. Many past and present faculty members, they have won internationally renowned awards. It was founded more than 6 decades ago in 1958 by the well-known economist Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao. Its board of directors and trustees include several well-known intellectuals and policymakers. The former Prime Minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, He has had a long association with the institute, initially as chairman of the Board of Governors and as president of the IG Society for the last 25 years. IG is always happy to support this kind of conferences. As you know, when a student takes admission in an educational institution, one of the first questions the neighbor asks is whether the institute has a good library. That speaks volumes about its relevance. It is certainly at the heart of generation of ideas. In the old age, when we used to enter a library, we used to see a deck of catalogs, paper catalogs. We used to go through that to see whether a book is there or not. That was during my student days, more than 3 decades ago. But libraries have changed now. You don't see that anymore. Throughout the globe, libraries are going through unprecedented changes, keeping pace with the information and communication technology. They have changed from computerized to digital library, from digitized to virtual services, from hard copies to e-resources, from journals to e-journals. In this kind of environment, how do we solve the users of library? That's becoming a big challenge. But in order to do that, we also have to develop the skills of the librarians in keeping in tone with the new environment. I'll just, for example, as an user of library, I'm not from the library science, but as an user, one feels that the big data analysis, the artificial intelligence, they can make possibly an impact in some of the fields, making use of the granular data. For example, in the morning, as I was thinking about it, I thought, what are the kind of questions we might like to put as an user? One question that came to me is that, suppose you have economists, sociologists, demographers who work on similar fields, similar issues of the society. What is the influence of one over the other? Who are the leaders and who are the followers? Do particular social problems get first attention by sociologists? Some other problems possibly get first attention by economists? I think this kind of analysis of some of these issues in a more disaggregated way will be very useful in generating the platform for interaction among disciplines. Similarly, another question that came to me is, if social sciences or natural sciences are developing into new areas, what about other forms of art, such as visual art? What is the interaction they have? Is one type of research learning from the other form of art that is developing. I think these are some of the questions that possibly, we can answer some of these things now in a more meaningful way using the new technology. I am indeed very happy that this conference has focused its theme on the digital environment. And I wish the conference all the best. I'm certain the deliberations that will take place among experts from several countries today and tomorrow will help to take our knowledge base further. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Panda, for that truly cogent address. I think the address not only familiarized us with the history of IG and the mutations in the discipline of library science, but also reflected on intersectionality across disciplines. Our next speaker is a famed man of multiple achievements and recognition, and that's Mr. Mo Suk Oh. Mr. Mo Suk Oh is the president, SLA Asian Chapter. He works as a librarian at Korea Information Society Development Institute since 1989 and now heads the Public Relation and Information Service team. He is the president of Korea Special Library Association and vice president of Korea Library Association since 2015. We consider ourselves fortunate to have you amidst us, sir. I invite you for disseminating thoughts on this occasion.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for organizers of the 6th ICoASL 2019, and thanks to all invited speakers and paper presenters, participants, and volunteers. I also appreciate the SLA Chapter Cabinet Chair, Emma Davidson, and Ambassador Shin Bong-gil of Korea, of South Korea Embassy for the speech and congratulations. SLA chapter is a fast-growing chapter of SLA in the last 20 years from its establishment. I also again applaud P.K. Jain, who contributed to establish the Asian chapter and was dedicated to the SLA Hall of Fame in SLA 2018 conference. Congratulations. I would like to express thanks to dedicated leadership of our past president of Asian chapter, Deborah, Shirley, Lavy. They helped us, the Korea Special Libraries, connect to World Library Community. Special Library Association, and gave an opportunity to meet you all at Seoul, South Korea in the 4th ICoASL 2015. Do you remember? Seoul and National Assembly Library. I remember more than 100 foreign participants, and especially Jill Strand, the president of SLA 2015. And again, thank you for allowing South Korea to organize next ICoASL conference. I and all Korea librarians welcome you. This sixth conference is festival to share our experience and wisdom with all Asian librarians. Please enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moosuk O, for that address. Our subsequent dignitary is an eminent personality who's worth emulating. And now I'm very clearly referring to Ms. Lavy Bazaine, who's the head of Central Library, State Islamic University, Sunain Kaligza. She is the former president of the Special Library Association Asian chapter and has exhibited her organizational skill and organized the 5th International Conference of Asian Special Libraries 2017 in Indonesia. She's at the advisory board of Association of Indonesian Islamic Higher Education Library. Madam, we are deeply honored by your presence, and I think your credentials speak volume and are truly inspiring. So without any further ado, I invite you on stage.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Professor Manoj Pandey, Director of Institute of Economic Growth, Delhi. Dr. Musu O, President of SLA Asian Chapter, President of Korean Special Library Association from Korea. His Excellency Sins Bongkil, Ambassador Republic of Korea. Ms. Emma Davidson, Chapter Cabinet Chair, Special Library Association. Dr. P.K. James, Librarian of Institute of Economic Growth. Dr. Debalkar, Librarian of Ambedkar University. Speakers, participants, guests, and sponsors. To all delegates and participants of ICoASL 2019, a warm regard to all of you from APTIS member in Indonesia. On behalf of the President of Indonesian Islamic Library Universities, called APTIS, I would like to wish you a productive and wonderful conference that can empower all members and library institutions in Asia and worldwide. It's really an honor and a privilege for APTIS to be one of associate partners in this conference. APTIS is one of Indonesian Library Association that was founded in 2014 and a home for 58 state Islamic university libraries under the Ministry of Religious Affairs of Indonesia. With the great support from members, APTIS is becoming an association that empowers its member and has played important part in the development of the library in Indonesia. In this opportunity, I would like to thank you, Special Library Association Asian Chapter, for having APTIS in this such a great event. As past president of SLA Asian Chapter, I witnessed that ICoASL is always a memorable event for the participants. First ICoASL held in New Delhi. The second was in Japan. The third was in Philippines. Fourth was in South Korea. Fifth was in Indonesia, and this time at Institute of Economic Growth and Ambedkar University in Delhi. Last but not the least, I have no doubt in my mind that this ICoASL 2019 be a worthwhile experience for you all, the participant and member of SLA Asia, and all participants here will all walk away from this meeting enriched with a better understanding and knowledge in the area of librarianships. Congratulations, SLP. Congratulations, Institute of Economic Growth. Congratulations, Ambedkar University. And congratulations, SLA Asia. We are so proud of you. For participants and speakers, enjoy ICoASL conference and have fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Rabiba, for such a sprightly address and for adding the element of fun to this conference. This assembly has an illustrious personality who has many feathers of achievements to his hat of eminence, and that is Ambassador H.E. Shane Bongil, who is a career diplomat. Ambassador Shane was the editor-in-chief of the university's weekly newspaper. He studied Chinese at Beijing University and received his MA and PhD in North Korean Studies from the University of North Korean Studies in Korea. He joined the Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1978 and had a long and distinguished career as a diplomat spanning over almost 4 decades. During this period, he held many senior diplomatic positions. Ambassador Shane Bongil retired from the Foreign Ministry in 2015. After his retirement, he continued disseminating knowledge by teaching at the Graduate School of International Studies in Yonsei University. He was appointed as ambassador to India in January 2018 after Korea's new Moon Jae-in government took office in May 2017. Ambassador Shin has a passionate interest in regional affairs of the East Asia. And given his expertise in the regional affairs, it's hardly surprising that he's been involved many a times in issues pertaining to North Korea, China, and Japan. He's also visited North Korea several times during the KEDO, the Korean Peninsula Energy Development Organization mission, to solve the North Korean nuclear issue. I now invite Dr. Shin for disseminating his thoughts with us.
Thank you for the very kind introduction. Distinguished guests, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to join you all here at this 6th International Conference of Asian Special Libraries. Korea had the privilege to host the 4th edition of the conference in 2015. I'm glad that 22 participants from Korea, including the host of 2015 conference, Dr. Choi Hee-yoon, President, Korea Institute of Science and Technology Information, and Mr. Ho Young-bom, President, National Assembly Library, are here with us to attend this conference. I would like to extend my hearty greetings to the organizers of this conference. Thank you, Dr. P.K. Jain, Dr. Deval, C. Carr, and Professor Pandey and Ms. Emma Davidson for your initiative. I understand that librarians, information specialists, and other distinguished professionals across Asian countries are here with us to exchange their innovative ideas and share their experiences on the theme of the conference. I extend my warm welcome to all the participants in the conference. The theme of this international conference is Libraries and Librarianship in the Digital Plus Era. The word that fascinates me the most in the theme is Digital Plus. Till date, I was thinking that we are all living in the digital era, but now a new realization has sunk in me that it is a digital plus era. Truly, the way we are dependent on IT and internet in all aspects of our daily living, that we can certainly call it the hyper-tech age. The reach of digital technology has been all-pervasive. Library and librarianship have also been impacted by the digital revolution as much as other areas. Friends, when I look back upon my school and college days, I find that visiting a library and referring books was an exciting part of the student's life. Today, if you ask this question to a student, he might look at you with surprise and rather tell you about the vast reservoir of digital resources which are just a click away. Now times have changed, and with this, our preferences and priorities. Our reading habits have changed, and so the library-going culture. This poses a formidable challenge to libraries and library professionals to suitably adapt to technological changes to meet users' needs and expectations. I don't think there are any other options for us but to embrace the technological changes and set up special libraries. Such libraries can ensure that both physical and virtual spaces coexist in perfect harmony and offer convenience and rich experience to its users. There are no two views that libraries across the world are keen to adopt new technologies and create seamless infrastructure to build an interface between knowledge and entertainment. Multimedia complexes have been created within the library premises to give a wholesome experience of learning. Not only this, I have seen libraries that have a dedicated space with all paraphernalia of assistive technologies for differently abled persons. Friends, as you know, Korea is a tech-savvy society where IT is being employed in every aspect of our national life. In particular, our universities and educational institutions boast of credible IT infrastructure and digital libraries to meet the growing demands of our academic community. We are keen to share our experience as also learn from others about their best practices. Presence of a large participant from Korea in this conference is a testimony of our growing desire to engage with our neighbors in this area. Friends, it gives me a great pleasure to share with you that we have made a modest but fruitful beginning for cooperation with India in digitalization of school textbooks. Late last year, Academy of Korean Studies, together with India's NCERT, held a workshop in Delhi, and among others, our two sides discussed the prospects of bilateral cooperation in digitalization of study materials. We would like to enlarge the scope of cooperation with other institutions and prestigious libraries in India. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not an expert in this area, but as an ambassador, I just shared my random thought which flashed through my mind. I'm sure you all, as domain experts, will discuss and exchange experience on new innovative library tools and technologies. Special libraries and librarians are the need of the hour. We must ensure mutual cooperation and collaboration among member countries to contribute towards development of special libraries. With these remarks, I wish the conference all the success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shin, for thinking aloud and cogitating on the challenges and fate of library sciences in the technology-driven world. That was a very pertinent articulation. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we unfold the conference's proceedings and get this occasion indelibly imprinted on our memories. I request the luminaries on the dais to release the conference's proceedings, and I also request the audience to accompany them with the thunderous applause. Now the conference won't skip our memories at all. Such a proud moment. Thank you, dignitaries. A distinct word for the next speaker of our inaugural address, Madam Emma Davidson. Emma Davidson is a special collections librarian based in New York City, where she's lived since 2012. She holds her MLIS from University College London and is currently placed in the reading room at the Morgan Library, assisting researchers with the collection of rare books and manuscripts, as well as in the Education Center Library at the Metropolitan Museum, where she assists visitors with a range of art history inquiries. Before moving to New York, Emma lived in London, England, where she worked in the library and archives at the Royal Society. Since 2017, Emma has served on the board of directors for the Special Libraries Association. In this role, she is responsible for acting as a bridge between the board and the leaders of the association's chapters and divisions. Prior to that, she served as the president of SLA's New York chapter and as communications chair for the leadership and management divisions. Madam, we are very anxious to hear you personally and inaugurate the seminar with your erudite address titled, "We know what we are, but know not what we may be. The role of the Library Association in the Digital Plus era." Madam Emma Davidson to take over.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my very great pleasure to be here today, and I am truly honored to be delivering this address at the start of the 6th Annual International Conference of Asian Special Libraries. I'm so grateful to Dr. P.K. Jain and Dr. Debolkar for inviting me, so thank you very much. I find it remarkable that in this room today, we have librarians from some 20 different countries, and I think around 18 states of India. Many of us have traveled a long way to be here. But why? Why do we put ourselves to the time, trouble, and expense of attending a conference like this one? I can think of at least 3 reasons. This very important topic, this beautiful location here in Delhi, and most importantly, the enduring value of in-person experiences, even in this hyper-connected digital age of ours. There are many ways in which librarians, their workplaces, and their professional associations are moving towards the Digital Plus era already, and we'll get to that soon. But first, I'd like to begin with a little history. I realize it's somewhat anachronistic to open a conference about the Digital Plus era with a look to the past, but I believe that understanding where we've come from is an important factor in determining how we might approach the future. I am particularly interested in how the Library Association can help us. As you've heard, I'm serving for my 3rd year on the board of directors for the Special Libraries Association, so this is something I think about a lot. But, more importantly, I suspect that none of us would be in this room today if it wasn't for the convening power of the ICoASL organizing group and the library associations and other important partners which support it. I'm sure many of you are already members of a library association, perhaps more than one, and if not, I strongly encourage you to join. Library association networks are wide and they are powerful. But now, the history lesson, because I wanted to understand where this all began. It seems as though the American Library Association was the first one. They were officially founded in 1876, although their records show that the concept had previously been proposed some 20 years earlier. This seems to mean 2 things. Number 1, there must already have been informal gatherings of librarians taking place throughout the early 1800s, because otherwise, where would they have got the idea to create an association? And number 2, these people felt that becoming a formal association would confer greater benefits than continuing in a more casual manner. So why is this important? Well, to me, it speaks volumes about the desire for organized contact with other professionals. Since the 1870s, the concept of the Library Association has spread around the world, and we're all evidence of that today. According to a popular online encyclopedia, there are currently over 250 library associations in existence, and that figure only accounts for major national and international groups, so don't believe everything you read on the internet. And when you take into account all of the smaller local groupings, which it ignores, the true number of library associations is going to be significantly higher. So, back to ALA for a moment. I was interested to discover that their initial stated purpose was to enable librarians to do their present work more easily and at less expense. And even considering how much the world has changed since 1876, I don't think any of us would disagree with that statement today. So moving on from this, I thought it would be interesting to see what other library associations have chosen as their particular reasons for existing. And perhaps not surprisingly, they all have fairly similar themes. The Indian Library Association is dedicated to the furtherance of the library movement in India, promotion of the training librarians and improvement of their status. The Japan Library Association was founded to continuously promote the development of libraries and librarianship. The Indonesia Library Association aims to increase the professionalism of Indonesian librarians through the development of service and practice of their expertise. And the Special Libraries Association promotes and strengthens its members through learning, advocacy, and networking initiatives. So these are just 4 quick examples of the many such statements available on Library Association websites. And having spent a good amount of time reading these, I arrived at the conclusion they all have 2 main themes in common. Number 1, strengthening the professional, and number 2, supporting the profession. Now, I know these sound fairly self-explanatory, but what do they actually mean? And more importantly, how do they play into the Digital Plus era? I think we'll all agree that we are working through a time of major disruption to our sector. The ease of accessing information digitally even impacts the credibility of the continued existence of our profession. To quote the cliche, If everything is available online, why do you need librarians? This further affects us in terms of the types of skills and knowledge we are expected to possess, since the list of competencies we need to display seems to get longer every year. And this also presents a challenge to library associations too. Given that we are a profession comprised of people with sophisticated research skills, capable of locating the resources that we need, what is the value added by our associations? My belief is that these challenges actually present us with some great opportunities, and that the convening power of professional associations can help us tremendously. And so now I'd like to spend a few minutes unpacking these two themes and some of their subdivisions with this in mind. Based on these library association websites, strengthening the professional encompasses things like networking and mutual support, development opportunities, and learning and training. It might be stretching the truth to say that librarianship is a uniquely well-connected occupation, but it certainly seems true that every successful information professional has a wide and well-developed network of sources to draw upon when necessary. Digital communication technologies have created a fertile environment for making and maintaining connections. But at the same time, the ease of growing a network may lead to a lack of truly valuable connections. Quantity does not always mean quality. When you have access to literally thousands of people, how do you find the handful of individuals who can actually help you with the problem you're trying to solve today? Now think about all of the ways we develop as professionals: formal training courses and certificate programs, reading professional literature, being mentored or acting as a mentor, observing role models, by practicing the skills we need in order to progress in our jobs. Support for much of this is available digitally, of course, but evidence still suggests that personal connections are key. Think of those times when someone you know has passed on news of a great job opportunity, given you a reference, or even just recommended a useful book or article for you to read. Furthermore, professional associations rely heavily on the work of members as volunteers, and therefore they provide lots of opportunities for developing your skills in a professionally relevant environment. And in many ways, the digital era is making this easier, particularly in terms of collaboration between people in different locations. And I don't see the benefits of those sorts of opportunities going away anytime soon. Conferences like this one are obviously an excellent way of developing connections, bringing everyone together for an intense time of learning, networking, and sharing. And professional associations make them possible. The digital future might have a profound impact on how conferences are constructed and delivered. Maybe one day it'll be possible to have a meaningful conference experience without even attending in person. But for now, this is the gold standard. The rest of the time, things like webinars and other training courses, of course, they're always useful for continuing professional learning. And of course, the associations can add value here too. We have so many options to choose from, so by accrediting existing courses or creating new ones, they can help us to target our learning time in the most effective way. Now, supporting the profession involves tackling issues around access to information, advocacy, and professional standards. In this age where fake news can spread like wildfire, promoting information literacy is crucial. Aside from the wrongful notion that everything is available on Google, some groups of citizens are completely restricted from accessing certain types of content, whether for political reasons or simply because they don't possess the right technology or skills. Tackling these inequalities is only going to become more important in the Digital Plus era, as success in education, in work, even in life, relies ever more heavily on technology and access to it, and the ability to use it. Librarians have huge potential to lead and to influence this, and working collectively through our associations allows for stronger, more coordinated efforts. And the voices of these groups, with their lengthy histories and measure of prestige, is much more likely to be taken seriously than we as individuals. Certainly in the United States, advocacy is often understood as action to influence the political sphere. And I realize that depending on where you are in the world, this may not be appropriate or even possible, making it even more important for our associations to engage where they can and help educate people about the need for skills-based access to information and to champion the value of trained information professionals. Associations already maintain sets of shared standards and professional ethics and help us to embed them within our working practice. And this is an important part of their role and should be maintained. But they also need to look outwards, seeking to bring new developments in related industries to our attention and to provide us with education when required. Given the speed of digital development, associations also have a powerful role to play through leveraging members who work at the cutting edge of the profession, as well as vendor partners and contacts in related industries to help us all stay up to date. Like many things in life, of course, all of this is interconnected. The individual librarian does not function in isolation from their workplace, their association, or the profession as a whole. Networks are built on connections, and they intersect with others. In a 2016 PhD thesis, The Impact of National Library Associations on Their Members, Employing Organizations and the Profession, Susan Henschel undertook to quantify this type of symbiotic thinking. And I realize this slide is really hard to read, but it demonstrates, it's one of her diagrams demonstrating the interrelatedness of all of these factors. And her thesis is actually freely available online, and I recommend that you take a look. So this quote is from a short piece on fastcompany.com last year, and I think it cuts to the very heart of all of this, so I'm going to read it to you. In this digital world, how do you go about making valuable connections? Here's the thing. Nothing beats talking to like-minded people in real life. Digital groups have their place, but joining a professional association allows you to form closer relationships and also to take part in unique experiences that you just can't have behind a screen. The author then goes on to suggest these 3 questions which one can ask in order to assess the value of an association. What unique experiences do they offer? What technology do they use? And do they have a committed community manager? And I think for a library association to be fit for purpose in the Digital Plus era, it must not only be able to answer these 3 questions, but to answer them really well. The greatest question, of course, is how exactly one might seek to do these. Remaining technologically competent and employing appropriately skilled staff are clearly important, but what of these unique experiences? Now, these might be characterized as specific learning opportunities, exclusive access to particular content or thought leadership, facilitation of excellent networking or mentoring opportunities, unique connections with relevant partners in related industries, strong codes of practice, powerful outreach and advocacy efforts. And all of these are important, and clearly the right staff and technology are key to their successful delivery. However, I would also argue that this is now just as much about fostering the right kind of mindset. In the Digital Plus era, technologies are evolving so fast that there are dangers in becoming too attached to particular tools or delivery methods. Rather, our success is going to be facilitated by an agile approach, an open attitude to new developments, and a willingness on the part of individuals as well as associations to engage with member expertise to inform change. So ultimately, the Digital Plus era has enormous potential for our profession, personal opportunities, new ways of serving our user groups, and wider access to information by citizens all around the globe. This future will happen whether or not librarians are prepared to deal with it, so we all need to make sure that we are. And I believe that library associations have a huge role to play in future-proofing our profession and enabling us all to assist our user groups to maximize the benefits of the Digital Plus era. Personally, I'm excited by the challenges and opportunities ahead. I'm also delighted that so many of you care enough about this subject to attend this conference. And I know we have an absolutely packed program of really excellent papers over the next couple of days. And I look forward to moving towards the Digital Plus era together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Emma Davidson, for the profundity of your thought and the coherence of your address. It was a very evocative and well-researched address, and the richness of your experience just added to those insights. Thank you. We now progress on to the next section, which is distribution of awards. And I request the presence of Ms. Emma Davidson, Dr. Debel Sikar, and Dr. P.K. Jain to give away the awards. The first set of honor is SLP SLA Asian Fellow Award, sponsored by Balani Infotech, and I also request the presence of Mr. Kailash Balani in giving away the awards. May I please have the honor of having Mr. Kailash Balani over here? And this set of award is to be given to Dr. Nabi Hassan, librarian at IIT Delhi. Applause for the achiever. Many, many congratulations, sir. The second award is titled SLP SLA Librarian Award, which is sponsored by iGroup Infotech, and it's given to Mr. Anil Gupta from BIMTech Bhubaneswar. Congratulations on the accomplishment. The last set of award is SLP SLA Young Professional Award, and it is sponsored by Aditya Books. This is given to Mr. Adesh Kumar, librarian at Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. Thank you, dignitaries. Congratulations to all the achievers at this public recognition. We now conclude the trail of addresses and award distribution with a vote of thanks, which will be delivered by none other than one of the major brains behind the entire event, Dr. P.K. Jain. Dr. P.K. Jain has more than 3 decades of experience to his kitty in the field of library and information sciences. He holds PhD, MPhil and MLIS degree in Library Information Science. Presently, he is employed here as the librarian. He is the former president and presently treasurer of the SLA Asian Chapter and award chair, Science and Technology Division, SLA, and president of Society for Library Professionals. He's been honored several times by various national and international bodies, and he's published several papers and chaired many international conferences in India as well as abroad. I now invite Dr. P.K. Jain for delivering the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Honorable His Excellency Mr. Shin Bongil, Ambassador, Republic of Korea, Professor Manoj Panda, Director, IEG, Ms. Emma Davidson, Chapter Cabinet Chair, SLA USA, Mr. Shumoko, President, SLA Asian Chapter, Ms. Lavy Bazaine, Past President, Dr. D.C. Carr, Librarian AUD, distinguished scholars, delegates, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. I am feeling honored and pleasure to welcome all of you to this mega event ICoASL 2019. It is a great sense of pride and satisfaction standing before this August gathering after a span of 10 years when we started ICoASL in 2008 in New Delhi, India. Over the 10 years, ICoASL has been all around Asian regions. The responsibility shouldered on me to organize 6th International Conference on Asian Special Libraries with more responsibility and at such a large scale was not only challenging but was breathtaking too. But looking today, it is very gratifying that this conference has generated such great enthusiasm and excitement among the library professionals from around the world. We have more than 350 participants, including 80 participants from foreign countries, including 22 from Korea, 7 from USA, 9 from Indonesia, 13 from Qatar, and from Japan, Germany, France, Belgium, Kazakhstan, Switzerland, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, etc. And from 18 states of India. More than 90 papers have been published in 2 proceedings from the received proposals of more than 120. This conference is getting live webcast and it is available worldwide. With my all regards, I am really grateful to our director, Professor Manoj Panda, who have given wholehearted support and allow us to organize this conference in IEG. We are thankful to you, sir, and for sparing your valuable time for kind presence today. We are thankful to VC, PVC, Registrar, and other officials to the Ambedkar University Delhi to support and allow to organize second day of ICoASL conference. Tomorrow, this conference will be held in Ambedkar University Delhi. We are grateful to Honorable Mr. Shin Bongkil, Ambassador Republic of Korea, to spare the time from his busy schedule to address the participants. We would like to thank Ms. Emma Davidson from SLA USA, Mr. Shumoko, Ms. Lavy Bazaine for their wholehearted support for this conference. This conference would have not been possible without good speakers, panelists, chairs, and co-chairpersons, reporters, coordinators of various sessions, and are grateful to them for being us for the success of ICoASL 2019. We are also thankful to the paper presenter who will share their vast knowledge and expertise during the 2 days. The present ICoASL is the result of hard working of more than 1 year. I would like to thank Dr. Debal Sikar, Dr. Praveen Babbar for always standing beside me and giving untiring support, sharing the knowledge and their expertise. We are also thankful to Mr. N.K. Vadhwa, Dr. Alka Rai, Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Ms. Geeta Paliwal for spending their valuable time sharing their knowledge and expertise with all of us. Without SLP and SLA member support, it was not possible to organize such a big event. Their advice and guidance in planning and successful conduct for this conference have been extremely valuable. We look forward to working with them in future too. Our special gratitude to various government agencies. Without their support, this event has not been possible, namely DSIR, ICSSR, RRR, LF, and CSIR. We are thankful to our platinum sponsor, OECD, who are the part of our journey. We are also thankful to our industry supporter, namely Braille, Blani Infotech, Emerald, Sage, Cengage, India State, Bharat Book Bureau, Elsevier, Cambridge, and many other sponsors and exhibitors. We sincerely acknowledge the help and the guidance given by the members of various committees in conducting this conference. I would be failing in my duty if I did not acknowledge the help, support, and cooperation of Dr. Sushil Kumar Sen, APO, IEG, Mr. D.D. Kandpal, Finance Officer, Mr. Vinod Tyagi, Mr. V.M. Buddhiraja, Mr. Shiva Shankar Sahu, my colleague in IG, and especially the library staff. All members of the organizing committee, without whose active and enthusiastic support right from the planning stage, it would not be impossible for me to take this huge task. Lastly, we are thankful to all the participants and invited guests to be here with us. I do hope the delegates and speakers will enjoy their stay in Delhi in this beautiful weather and will return satisfied at the end of the conference with lots of intent. Thank you all once again. Thank you.
A million thanks to you, Dr. Jain, for your humble and all-encompassing vote of thanks. And with this, we have neared the conclusion of our inaugural address. And what befitting way than capturing is through a group photo. The group photo, ladies and gentlemen, will be clicked here since the weather won't allow us to go outside. And I request you all to stand up for the same. I request everyone to push back a step. Thank you all. We now break for tea and the sessions will resume after 20 minutes.
मांग भी मैंने रखा है ना, किसी को चाहिए तो ले लेंगे।